Bucks are desperately missing Chris Middleton. Desperately. Can you believe that Doc Rivers has a losing record as the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks with Dame and Giannis? Alright, maybe you can believe it. What's good, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Wrong vs. Right. I'm your host, Jay. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe below. See, I got the Wrong vs. Right t-shirt on. I'll be doing a shirt giveaway sometime in the near future for my subscribers. But hey, look, there's tons of storylines going on in the NBA, but we got to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks and them being 1-5 so far this season. It's important to preface this by saying it is early in this season, so we can't overreact whether a team is doing really good or a team is doing really bad. It's super early in the season. It's only November. And we have a small sample size. And we only have a small sample size. It's only been 6 games. Best believe Doc Rivers' job is in jeopardy right now. Here's some of what Giannis had to say about their recent struggles.
Yeah. Right now we don't have an identity. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are we going to win the game? Are we going to defend 48 minutes? Are we going to move the ball for 48 minutes? Are we going to attack and play fast for 48 minutes? Or 36 minutes slow down in the last 12. Gotta find an identity. We don't have that right now.
In the Bucks' last game against the Cavs, who were undefeated by the way, Dame hit 10 threes and they still lost. So I want to give an in-depth breakdown into the strengths and the weaknesses of the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's talk about their obvious strengths. Their strengths are Dame and Giannis. Dame and Giannis are absolutely carrying the load offensively. Dame is averaging 26, 5, and 7, while Giannis is averaging 31, 12, and 6. These are superhuman numbers that both of them are averaging. So what does that tell me? That tells me that Dame and Giannis are having their way on offense. They're doing whatever they want to do. So then why are they still losing? Let's go to their weaknesses. First off, let's talk about their defense. On-ball defense, interior defense, pick and roll defense, transition defense, help defense. They need help on all these different areas. I want to point out one area of defense that they specifically struggle in, and that's their pick and roll defense. Any smart offensive team will attack Brook Lopez because he's slow of foot. So what do? Other teams involve Brook Lopez in a pick and roll, where he switched on guys like Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, so on and so forth. Brook Lopez goes in a drop coverage, which means he doesn't show on the pick. He just drops down so they can't get around him. I think the on-ball defender has to ice the pick and roll so the offensive player can't utilize the pick. And therefore, Brook Lopez is safe from getting that one-on-one with a superstar player. Whatever the solution is, what they're doing right now is clearly not working. Next, let's talk about their depth, or lack thereof. In the Bucks' last game against the Cavaliers, they had 13 bench points, with 10 of them coming from Bobby Portis. So what does that tell us? That means that they're getting no help from the bench once Dame and Giannis get off the floor. No one is scoring for them. The next leading scorer on the Bucks is averaging 11 points a game, and that's Bobby Portis. The Bucks are desperately missing Chris Middleton. Desperately. Their role players are not delivering. Gary Trent Jr. is shooting 30% from the field and 25% from the three-point range. Granted, I don't think this bad shooting will last for him, but this is part of the reason that they're losing these games. Next, if we're talking about the Bucks, you know we got to talk about coaching. Can you believe that Doc Rivers has a losing record as the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks with Dame and Giannis? Alright, maybe you can believe it. But look at this record right here, 19-25. It's unacceptable. We all have to remember, they got rid of Adrian Griffith last season when they were like 38-13. This guy had a winning record and they still fired him. Then they go and hire Doc Rivers, who has a losing record with his team, with Dame and Giannis. This just can't happen. It's unacceptable. Bucks fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments below too. So why does Doc Rivers, who is a championship coach, why does he catch so much flack? Here are a few criticisms that I have of Doc Rivers' coaching style. He has a history of kind of throwing his players under the bus, when he may not mean to, but that's how it comes off as. So I think he could articulate himself better as to what he means when he's, saying the bench isn't doing much for us, or, guys aren't hitting shots, X, Y, Z. There's a way to say some things where the team morale doesn't get affected. Next is in-game adjustments, such as on defense. For example, if you see that the offense is consistently targeting Brook Lopez on a pick and roll, let's do something to switch it up. Let's ice the pick. Let's trap it. Let's do something to switch it up so guys can't just get a routine switch on Brook Lopez. Now he has to guard a superstar player. Let's switch up the defensive schemes. Play calling. Sometimes we don't have to have an elaborate play for somebody like Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's 7 foot tall, 230 pounds, whatever he is. He's a freak of nature. Sometimes, how about we just post him up in a block, let's get a bucket. Or for a guy like Damian Lillard, let's just have Giannis come up and set a screen. Everybody clear out, space the floor. Let those guys read the defense and make a play. The schemes that Doc Rivers is implementing doesn't seem to be working, hence the record of 19-25. Now we have to be fair, Doc Rivers did miss Giannis in the playoffs last season, and some of Damian Lillard as well. This leads me to my last point about the Bucks in terms of their weaknesses: the team morale, their chemistry, and their sense of identity. Giannis harped on this identity portion in a recent interview as well. It's abundantly clear that there's a lack of team morale and chemistry on this team. But what does that actually mean in a game? That means, hey, say we just hit a shot and now we're up on this team. That means locking down and saying, hey, yo, we're getting to stop right here. This team is not scoring on this play. We need to extend this lead, and they are not coming back. Hey, I had a coach in high school that said, let's put our foot on their necks. So that means, like, it's done with. They're not coming back. This game is over. They need that sense of urgency, that Mamba mentality, to put their foot on their necks and say, hey, y'all are not coming back from this. This is over. I know Dame and Giannis have that deep inside them, but I don't know if their team has completely adopted that mindset, game in and game out. They don't seem to have bought into Doc Rivers' playing style. They don't seem to be sticking up for him in interviews. They don't seem to be going to bat for him, diving on loose balls for him. They don't seem to have that want for Coach Rivers right now. With all that being said, 6 games into the season, so let's not go in too deep on the Bucks. They could turn this all around. These are some observations that I've had so far of the Bucks. Let me know your thoughts below down in the comments. Let me know what kind of content you want to see in the future as well. As I said, I'll be doing a giveaway for these shirts sometime soon. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that button and subscribe below. Everybody can be wrong, but everybody can be right. All right, I'm out.